message was not meant for Earth. It was sent out in a wide broadcast across the stars, meant for any who could hear. Most planets ignored it. Some were too far, others were too scared. But Earth heard it. In a command room buried deep under the surface, the signal came in. It was full of static and strange alien sounds, but the message was clear. "Help us, please. They are coming." Claire stood in front of the main screen. She was a calm woman with sharp eyes. She had seen many strange things, but this was different. She turned to Logan, who was sitting next to her. "This isn't a trick," she said. "They're in real danger." Logan was a former soldier. He had seen war up close. He nodded slowly. "We can't ignore this," he said. "Someone has to answer." A few days later, the United Earth Alliance called a meeting. Only a few leaders showed interest. Many thought it was a waste of time. But those who had seen the message knew it was real. A team was formed, small but strong. Claire, Logan, Ethan, Mia, and Jack. Each had their own skills. Claire was the leader. Logan was the fighter. Ethan was the tech expert. Mia was the doctor. Jack knew weapons and machines. Their ship was not large, but it was fast. They packed supplies, tools, and weapons. There was no time to waste. They knew the planet might not last long. As the ship left Earth's orbit, Claire sat in silence. She watched the stars pass by. None of them knew what they would find. They had only the short message to guide them. Jack walked into the control room. "We'll be there in 12 hours, he said. "You ready for this?" Claire nodded. "We're not heroes," she said. "We're just doing what needs to be done." The planet was called Shira. It was once full of life. Now it was broken. When the ship arrived, they saw the damage from space. Cities in ruins, fires still burning. The team grew quiet. This was worse than they had thought. They landed near the edge of one of the cities. Tall buildings lay in pieces. There was no sound, no movement. Ethan checked the air. "It's safe to breathe," he said. "But the radiation levels are rising, not a good sign." Logan took the lead, walking carefully through the ruins. Claire and the others followed. Soon, they saw signs of life. Small shelters built from scrap, watching from behind broken walls. One of the creatures stepped out. Thin, tall, with dark green skin and sharp eyes. It looked weak, like it had not eaten in days. Claire raised her hands to show peace. "We came to help," she said softly. The creature said nothing but nodded. It turned and walked away slowly. The team followed. They were taken to a larger shelter underground. There, they saw many of the alien people, young and old. Tired eyes, weak bodies, but still alive. An older alien stepped forward. His voice was rough, but he spoke in broken English. "We sent the call," he said. "No one came. Until you." Claire looked around. "We came as fast as we could," she said. "Who did this to you?" The alien's eyes darkened. "They are machines. They come in waves. They take everything. We cannot stop them." Jack clenched his fists. "We'll see about that," Claire nodded. "We're here now, and we won't run." As night fell over the broken city, the humans stayed with the aliens. The wind howled outside, but inside, for the first time in many days, there was hope. They had come from the most dangerous world in the galaxy, and now they were ready to show what Earth could do. The sky over Shira stayed dark, even in the day. Smoke covered the sun. The air was dry and hot. The ground was full of broken metal and glass. The team from Earth moved carefully through the ruins. They followed the small Shari, who had met them at the landing site. The Shari led them to what was left of a city. Buildings were half broken, roads were cracked. Machines, old and destroyed, were scattered everywhere. Logan looked around and kept his weapon ready. Jack watched their back. Claire, Mia, and Ethan stayed close. The Shari spoke again. Its voice was low. "This was once a great home. Called it Dallin. Now it is only dust." Claire nodded. "We will help you. We need to understand more." They entered a large hall. Parts of the roof had fallen. A few Shari stood inside, tired and thin. Their eyes showed fear and sadness. A larger Shari came forward. He had scars on his face and a metal arm. "I am Danuk." I was once leader of this city, he said. You came from Earth. Few believed the call would be answered. Logan stepped forward. We heard you, and we came. Tell us what happened. Danak pointed to a wall. A large screen flickered. Images showed the past. The Shari had once built tall cities. They flew in the sky and used clean energy. But then the Vornak arrived. Machines from deep space. They dropped from the sky and started taking everything. Water, metal, fuel. When the Shari fought back, the Vornak answered with fire. They do not speak, Danak said. They do not stop. Oh. They see life as something to break. Mia studied the images. How many are left? Less than 10 cities remain, Danak said. Most are hiding. Others are already gone. Claire stepped closer. We need to see one of their attacks. We must know how they fight. Danak looked unsure. It is not safe. We did not come for safety, Logan said. Came to help. Danak gave a short nod. Then come, there is a place nearby. We watched from a hidden tower. They left the city and traveled for hours. The sky grew darker. Soon, they reached a tall hill. At the top stood a thin tower. It was old, but still working. From the top, they could see far into the dead land. Through a scope, Claire saw movement. Machines were moving, tall and heavy. Like spiders made of steel, they had glowing red eyes. Their legs cut through the ground. Small drones flew around them. It's a scout group, Ethan said. Looking for more to destroy? Suddenly, one of the drones stopped. It turned toward the tower. The red light blinked. Then it shot into the air. They saw us, Jack said. We need to leave now. The team ran back to the transport. The Shari followed. Behind them, the drone called the others. The ground shook. The Vornak were coming. The humans reached the transport and jumped in. Logan took the controls. The ship lifted just as the first machine arrived. Its legs slammed the earth. It shot a beam of heat toward the tower. The tower broke in half. We need to test our weapons, Mia said. If we want to help, we need to fight. Not here, Logan said. Not yet. We need a better place. They flew back to Dallin. The Shari watched the sky, waiting for fire to fall. But the Vornak did not follow. For now. Inside the hall, Danak stood silent. You saw them. You know now. We have no hope. Claire walked to him. You have us now, and we fight different. Danak looked up. Different? How? Jack stepped forward. We fight to win, no matter the cost. The Shari looked at each other, their eyes still full of fear. But now, a small spark of hope was there too. The humans started planning. They drew maps. They checked weapons. They made plans for defense. Earth had answered the call. But now, it was time to fight back. The beasts of Earth were ready. Smoke still floated in the air as the sun rose higher.
Ow.
The broken metal of the Vornak machines lay across the ground. Some burned, some sparked, but all were silent now. Logan stood at the edge of the city ruins, looking out. He knew this was only a small group, a scout force. The real attack would come soon. Inside the meeting hall, Claire worked with Theron to organize food and care for the injured. Ethan checked the power grid under the city. His hands were black with dust, but he kept working. Mia set up new drones and defense turrets. She placed them near the walls and high on towers. Jack repaired the turret gun he had used in the last battle. His arms were sore, but his eyes were sharp. The Shari watched the humans closely. Many still feared the next wave of machines, but others started to move with purpose. They brought stones to build walls. They helped Claire pass out supplies. Few even tried to learn from Ethan and Mia. Theron called a meeting in the hall. He stood in front of the humans and his people. His voice was still weak, but it was steady. You came when no one else did, Theron said. You do not look like us. You do not speak like us. But you fight for us. That makes you our family. Logan nodded. We are not done yet. More will come. We have to be ready. A young Shari named Ven stepped forward. Teach us. Let us fight beside you. Claire smiled. We can do that. The next days were full of work. Logan trained the Shari in simple combat. How to hold a weapon. How to move in battle. How to watch each other's backs. Jack built simple shields from metal plates. Mia taught a group how to fly small drones. Claire and Ethan kept the base running. They found an old water pump and brought it back to life. Clean water flowed through the city again. Word spread among the Shari. More survivors came from the hills and forests. They were tired, thin, and scared. But when they saw the humans, they stood straighter. The city began to change. Broken walls were rebuilt. Fires were put out. New lights glowed in the streets. For the first time in many months, there was life again. Then the signal came. A drone picked up movement beyond the forest. A large force was moving fast. Mia called the team. It's them. Dozens, maybe more. Too many for just us. Logan contacted Earth. He sent a short message. Heavy enemy force coming. Request backup. Urgent. The answer came quick. Earth had already been watching. A second ship had left orbit. Reinforcements were on the way, but they would not arrive in time. We hold the line, Logan said, until help comes. The team moved fast. Jack placed extra guns along the main road. Mia linked the drones to a single control hub. Claire moved the sick and children into safe buildings. Ethan set traps and signal jammers. The Shari stood with them. Ven held a spear. Others carried metal rods and simple blasters. Their hands shook, but they did not run. When the sky turned dark, the ground began to shake. The Vornok had arrived. They came in lines. Tall metal bodies. Red lights glowing. The sound of machines filled the air. Logan raised his hand. Wait, the first shot came from the wall. Dud. A blast from Jack's gun hit a Vornak in the chest. It exploded. Then the battle began. Lasers cut through the sky. Explosions lit the streets. Humans and Shari fought side by side. Logan fired from the front lines. Claire ran between buildings, helping the wounded. Ethan used his traps to slow the machines. Mia flew her drones into enemy lines, causing blasts in the back ranks. The Shari fought with heart. Then saved another child by pulling it from the path of fire. Theron stood with a group near the old hall, holding the flag of his people high. But the enemy kept coming. Jack shouted, "We can't hold them all." Logan was about to answer when the sky lit up. A roar came from above. A second ship entered the clouds. Earth had arrived. Drop pods fell like shooting stars. Soldiers came out in armor. More drones flew. Heavy guns blasted from above. The Vornak paused, then many turned to run. The new soldiers joined the fight. The machines were pushed back. One by one, they fell. When it was over, the field was silent. Logan looked around. Smoke filled the air again, but this time, it came with victory. The beasts of Earth had fought, and they had won. But they all knew one thing. This was not the end. The real war was still coming, so that they would be ready. The battlefield was quiet, but the team knew peace would not last. The second ship from Earth had saved the day, but the war was not over. The Vornak were only pushed back. They would return. Logan stood near a broken wall, watching soldiers unload supplies. So the new team brought heavy weapons, food, and medical help. But most important, they brought hope. The Shari moved among them with new energy. They had seen the machines fall. They had seen humans fight without fear. Claire worked with the new medics, helping the wounded. Her hands were tired, but she kept going. The young Shari who had been hurt earlier now smiled. He followed Claire everywhere. She taught him how to clean a wound and wrap cloth around burns. Jack trained a group of Shari with simple weapons. He showed them how to stay low, how to aim, and how to move as a team. Some Shari learned fast. They'd never held weapons before, but they were quick and strong. Ethan and Mia worked on new tech. They set up a signal tower to watch the sky. They could see Vornak ships from far away. They also fixed the city's broken alarm system. Now, the Shari could know when danger was near. Theron met with Logan and the other human leaders. They sat in a large room that had once been a market. Now, it was a command center. A map of the region was spread on the floor. The Vornak have a base near the mountains, Theron said. We know the path. We never had the power to reach it. Logan looked at the map. If we hit that base, we might stop them from sending more. A soldier named Dan, part of the second team, nodded. We can do it, but we'll need help. We'll need the Shari too, Theron agreed. We will fight with you. Plans were made. The mission would be dangerous. They would go deep into enemy land. But they had no other choice. If the Vornok were not stopped, Shira would fall. That night, the city prepared. Soldiers checked weapons. Drones flew above, scanning. Shari children helped carry food and tools. Fires burned in safe places, not from war, but from warmth. Ven stood with Logan. He wore armor made from broken machine parts. His hands held a small blade. "I am ready," Ven said. Logan looked at him. "You have a brave heart. Stay close to Claire. She will keep you safe." The next morning, the team left the city. They moved through the hills, quiet and fast. Human soldiers walked beside Shari fighters. It was a strange sight. Beings from different worlds, united by one goal. The closer they got to the mountains, the colder the air became. The land was burned. No trees, no life. Only black ground and metal ruins. Mia flew her drone high and saw the base. It was built into the mountain. Sharp walls, big guns, guards on every side. "It won't be easy," she said. Ethan studied the layout. "There's a weak point near the back. If we get in there, we can plant charges and bring the whole thing down." Logan gave the order. The team split into two groups. One would attack the front to draw attention. The other would sneak in from behind. The battle began with a loud blast. Jack and Dan led the front attack. They fired from cover. The Vornok responded fast, sending out machines with heavy guns. Logan, Claire, Mia, Ethan, and Ven moved through a broken tunnel near the back. The way was dark and tight. They stayed low and quiet. Inside the base, they planted the charges. Claire watched the timer. 3 minutes, she said. Suddenly, a door opened. A large Vornok stepped out. It saw them. Ven jumped forward. Logan shot it twice. Logan shot it twice. It fell. Claire ran to Ven. He was hurt, but alive. "You saved us," she said. Ven smiled. "We fight together." The team ran out as the base began to shake. The charges exploded. Fire rose from the mountain. The Vornok machines stopped moving. Some fell, some froze in place. The base had been the main control center. Out. Without it, the machines were lost. Back in the city, the Shari cheered. The sky was clear. For the first time, it felt like freedom. Logan stood on a high wall watching the sunrise. Beside him, Theron spoke. "You are not beasts. You are more. You are the storm that broke the darkness." Logan said nothing. He just looked at the stars and knew this was only one world. There were others still in danger, and Earth would be ready. The sky over Shira was blue again. For the first time in many months, no smoke rose from the hills. No strange lights blinked in the sky. The machines were gone. The battle was won. Logan walked through the streets of the city. The walls were still broken and the roads still cracked. But the people were no longer afraid. Shari children laughed. Builders worked. The air was filled with sound again. Not the sound of war, but the sound of life. He passed by a group of Shari planting seeds in the soil. A young one waved at him. Logan raised his hand in return. Behind him, Jack fixed a broken door, while Dan helped set up a new gate. Claire stood in the hall, now turned into a hospital. She had trained many Shari to care for the wounded. They moved with steady hands. Ven was there too. His arm was wrapped, but he stood tall. He no longer looked like a scared child. He looked like a fighter. Ethan had finished building a new power station. The city now had lights at night. Clean water ran through the pipes. He and Mia were already talking about rebuilding the broken towers. The goal was not just survival now, it was growth. The humans gathered near the base of the signal tower. A message was ready. Claire looked at the group and nodded. Logan spoke into the device. "This is Team Valiant. Mission complete. Shira is free. The Vornok base is gone. The people live." The message went out across the stars. It told the galaxy that Earth had come. Not for power, not for control, but to answer a call for help. Later, Theron called for a gathering. City center was filled with both humans and Shari. A large fire burned in the middle. Food was shared. Music played. It was a day of peace. Theron stood before them all. When we sent our message, we thought no one would come. We thought we would die alone. But you came. You fought. You stayed. He turned to Logan. You are not beasts. You are protectors. You are brothers and sisters of this world. Then stepped forward with a small stone in his hand. It was smooth and carved with a symbol. He gave it to Logan. This is the mark of our people. You carry it now. Wherever you go, you are one of us. Logan took the stone. His fingers closed around it. He looked at his team. Each of them carried marks of battle. Coots, bruises, tired eyes. But they also carried pride. Jack raised a bottle. To Shira, too. The people who didn't give up. They all cheered. Time passed. The second Earth ship prepared to leave. Some humans would stay to help rebuild. Others would return home. Mia packed her gear. Feels strange to leave. Claire smiled. We didn't just fight here. We built something that never leaves. Ethan walked up the ramp. We'll be back. And they'll remember. The Shari lined the road to the ship, waved and sang. Children threw flowers. Old ones bowed. Logan walked last. He turned one more time and looked at the city. Saw the walls, the people, the lights. He saw hope. He whispered, "This is why we came." The ship rose into the sky. It passed through the clouds and entered the stars. The planet grew smaller behind them, but the memory stayed large. Back on Earth, the message spread. News of the mission reached every corner. Videos showed the battle. Stories told of the courage. Some called them heroes. Some called them monsters. But all agreed on one thing. They had answered the call. The Galactic Council held a meeting. Many species came. They spoke of what Earth had done. One leader said, "We feared them. We kept them out. But they saved a world we left to die." Another said, "Maybe we were wrong. Maybe they are not just beasts. Maybe they are something more." A new signal was sent. Not a call for help. A call for friendship. It went out across the stars. To every world. And somewhere in a quiet part of space, a voice answered, "We are from Earth. And we are listening." The story of Shira was only the beginning. The beasts of Earth had come. And now, the galaxy would never forget them.